Alright, this is now week 3 of my account. I'm not gonna do that intro anymore, the 2-a-day intro. I think it's so fucking. I was listening to it, like, the audio is so bad. Like, why? I'm sorry. I, I can't do it anymore. It's so fucking bad. But, um, yeah, last time I talked, I think I just mostly talked about my exam that I had for physics. And now, since then, I've taken one quiz and I've covered 2 new chapters. Uh, Sorry, I got an email. But another chapter we're in, another, another chapter we're in, we're just like focusing on energy and the conservation of energy and potential energy. So we're just doing like work is equal to delta K, or whatever, or work net is equal to delta K, and work G is equal to mg h, whatever the change in height is, and we're just talking about that stuff. But before I do on to that, I want to talk about my last quiz that I had. And that was last Friday, so 4 days ago. 5 days ago. So 5 days ago, I had a drive forces quiz, which mostly was a combination of friction force and drive forces because on our force quiz we didn't deal with friction forces. We just dealt with like normal forces, gravitational, and stuff like that. And so that quiz I thought I failed. Like I sat and I was doing problems and I'm like I'm not confident in this answer. And like I actually ended up getting only one wrong, so I got an 8 out of 10 for that because our quizzes are only 5 questions and each of them are worth 20%. So when I saw that grade book in the grade book, I got an 80. I was so hyped. My grade didn't change whatsoever, so uh, last I checked it was a 96.25, so nothing's changed really. And yeah, um, I was really glad that my quiz that I didn't fail that quiz because I was certain that I failed it. But yeah, I understand what I did wrong for the first problem. Like I don't know what it is with me, but like sometimes whenever it comes to like taking quizzes, sometimes my mind just like blanks and I begin overcomplicating problems that I shouldn't be. Like the problem, it wasn't that complicated, and like I made it seem so much more complicated. Have it with me. Not it. Yeah, so a crate sits on a flat steel bed. Coefficient of static friction was zero point 0.6 if the truck at rest. If the truck accelerates at a constant rate, in what minimum time can the truck travel 50 meters without the crate slipping? So for this, you just solve for acceleration. And like I solved for acceleration, but once I got the acceleration, I don't know like what what I was thinking. But I just like couldn't figure out the answer. And which so you just have to solve for the you just have to solve for acceleration using force diagrams. You know that you have normal force up and gravity down. Those two forces can't balance, cancel each other out. Jesus, I can't talk still. And then the only force in the x-plane is friction, and that's opposing the truck's motion. So in this case, I just made it go to the left because I envisioned the truck going to the right. So with friction to the left, you just make it mu n is equal to ma. You know the mass. Oh no, you don't need to know the mass because n is just equal to mg. So mu mg is equal to ma. Masses cancel out, and then your final expression is a is equal to mu g. And then you know g is 9.81, and you know mu is 0.6, and then that's your acceleration. And then once you have your acceleration, you just plug that into the stopping equation, I believe. No, not the stopping equation. The distance equation. And then you get your distance of, or you get your time of 4.212 seconds. So that was just a stupid mistake on my part. I need to work on not like complicating questions, overcomplicating questions that I don't need to. But I guess that's just gonna come with more practice and more time. So today I have English from 5 to 6:15, and then after that I think I'm probably just gonna go to the library and grind out some homework and study for like 3 hours or so. Uh, yeah, that's generally how like my study habits have been. Like, I do my best to do like 2 hours of homework slash studying. And, like a majority of my homework mostly is only calculus and physics because like all my other gen eds I don't really put much effort into because I don't really need to. It's like relatively easy to get an A. Like I just show up, pay attention, and then I do what's required from the instructions. And I typically get A's for that, except for government. I get low A's, and on my last exam I got an 88. So I'm calling it now. Come final time, I'm gonna need to do well if I want to get an A or keep an A, depending on how the semester goes. So hopefully I finish the semester with only one B. I feel like my one B might be in calculus, just because like I don't know. I've like I also over like my problem in physics is that I overcomplicate things, and my problem in calculus is that I think everything's a lot simpler than it really is. So I don't really have a good example for that because I my calc professor doesn't give us a test back, but I could I don't know maybe next time I'll be able to memorize a problem that I thought was really simple that I ended up losing points because I didn't do everything that was required. But on my last exam I got an 84, so it's all right. All my other quizzes have been A's, like 95s, 90s. So I'm at like an 87 right now. But yeah, I think something that I should work on for the future is doing more practice problems for calculus because like I put so much time and effort into physics that I could also be doing that for calculus, especially if I want to do well, especially if I want to like I don't know like go into like a different branch of physics. But on the topic of branches of physics, I'm not sure if I covered this in the last video or not, but I officially am now a double major. So I'm now majoring in physics, general physics, and computational physics. And with that, I get a minor in math. So that's already going to look good as fuck on resumes. So I also plan on trying to get into the honors college for next semester. And then that'll look even better on colleges. And it'll also motivate me to continue to keep my grades up. And yeah, I'm not really sure if there's anything else that really happened. I went to visit my friends at U of I this past weekend, the September, the final weekend of September, like the 28th and 29th. And yeah, yeah, I guess that's really it for my recap for this week. I think some goals, I think I'm gonna start setting little goals for myself. So I'm gonna be the only one watching my videos if I don't get too lazy and now want to watch my own videos. So I'm gonna like set little goals for myself. So like for next week, I'd like to hopefully be able to say in the recap that I got 100% on my next physics quiz because I more than likely will have a physics quiz on either Thursday or Friday. So yeah, for my next recap, that's really my only goal. Say I got 100% on that on the little quiz. So yeah, as my channel progresses and as I continue to grow, maybe my weekly goals will also grow or remain the same, depending on how depending on how well I do, I guess. But yeah, this has been the recap of last Tuesday to this Tuesday, October 1st. That's also something I should probably be doing, even though the day is in the title or description. But yeah, until next week.